Hi there, this is Christopher Ruspe. I'm a comprehensive financial planner in Highland, Maryland. And today we're going to be doing a video series talking about side hustles and part-time gigs and how they can really help set you up for retirement or financial independence. But before we get into that, I just wanted to mention that, as many of you know, this is Hispanic Awareness Month. And when I think about Hispanic Awareness Month, I think about immigration and all of the wonderful things that come from immigration. Now, I will have to say in my defense that I do support legal immigration as opposed to illegal immigration. And I think many people do. But the great thing about immigration is that it inspires people because they want something better for their kids than they were able to have in their own country. And it creates tremendous loyalty to the United States. It creates tremendous innovation for the United States. And those who end up being entrepreneurs, it creates tremendous jobs, tremendous value. And once again, these people that are come here and are legal are paying taxes and contributing in many ways to our society, not the least of which is in population growth, which is a hallmark of a strong growing economy. So while we're on the subject of Hispanic awareness, first let me say, we recognize at Applied Financial Wisdom all of the commitments that immigrants make, and we appreciate it, and it's one of our founding values that we do support it. And if you're out there and you're sitting there saying, hey, wait a minute, what about my sub-ethnic group? We don't have an awareness month. You do now, because I hereby declare September to be Immigration Awareness Month, not necessarily just Hispanic Awareness Month. And I'll just say one last thing, and that is that my family immigrated from Italy, and unless you're a native, Native American, then your family immigrated from somewhere as well. So try to remember what it was like when your group of people came over here and had to struggle to get ahead. And let's continue to support immigration, legal immigration, and all of the wonderful things that it offers to the United States. Now, on the subject du jour, the subject du jour is your side hustle. This generation is finding it harder and harder to get ahead, mainly because of the cost of living, because they don't have equity in their homes from 20, 30, 40 years ago to cushion the cost of living. And so it's getting more and more popular that people are looking at a side hustle, or what we used to call in the old days a part-time job. Got to admit, side hustle sounds a lot more sexy and exciting than a part-time gig. But then here's the interesting thing. If you have a side hustle and you are self-employed, then you have a tremendous opportunity to utilize a lot of the loopholes that are available in the IRS tax code and a lot of the loopholes that are available in retirement planning to supersize your retirement savings. And make no doubt, unless you have an unusually good work situation with a very generous pension, not very many of us do these days, the more you put away for retirement and the sooner you put it away, the better, and the more likely you're actually going to be able to retire. So how do you know if you're self-employed? Well, in the old days, we used to get a 1099. I haven't bothered to memorize what the new numbers are, but I read in my tax documents last year that a new document is being prepared for self-employed people. But basically, if you don't get a W-2 for your side gig, then you're probably self-employed. And if you're self-employed, you can write off things like if you qualify for a home-based business, you can qualify possibly to write off some of your expenses for housing. You can write off mileage on your automobile. You could make contributions to a small business retirement plan. And if you're the only employee, you could really max that out to the tune of $40,000 or $50,000 a year if your net income is high enough. So I'm trying to brainstorm here about other things that people don't really think about. You can write off your education if it's needed and related to your part-time side gig. And you could also employ your family members and write off wages to them, which you could then contribute to a IRA in their name, especially if they're your kids. So there's just a tremendous number of things you can do if you have a part-time gig. And sometimes when people are trying to pay off student loans or trying to pay off their mortgage, we recommend they get a part-time gig while they're young and while they're able from an energy perspective to do it. And just, if nothing else, just so you can utilize some of those loopholes that are out there. Now, obviously, I'm not a tax preparer. I don't calculate how much you owe in taxes, and I don't give tax preparation advice. You'll need to see a tax preparer for that. But these are some strategies that we do help our self-employed clients with. So keep in mind, as I end this subject, I want to let you know that we're going to be doing some video series about police officers, about military, and about teachers. So if you hit the subscribe button, you'll be able to make sure you don't miss any of that content. And we're trying to help 100,000 people who don't have a financial planner. So if you wouldn't mind liking this and sending it on to someone you know, I'd greatly appreciate it so we can accomplish our goals. And finally, I'll just wish you a great weekend, and I hope you have good health, lots of happiness, and I'll be talking to you again real soon. This is Chris Ruspe at Applied Financial Wisdom signing off. Thank God it's Friday.